This is so exciting.
State your business.
We have come on Chantry business.
And Draste's arse you have. You're no priest.
I told you this was a terrible idea. As you wish.
Cross me and you shall pay! I am your death! Begin the onslaught!
As you wish.
Perpetual sacrifice, pray for us. Sing our... Oh, I wasn't expecting... Did Boann send you? I already told her I'm old, not dead. I can handle the work here perfectly well.
I'm sorry.
I've served the Chantry longer than she has. And what do I get? Wouldn't you like to retire, Mother Augustine? Retire? I have not spent 30 years ministering to the condemned to spend my days gardening and tatting lace, I'll tell you that. Preposterous idea.
I had no idea we were being sent here to slight you. That's unconscionable.
It's an offense against the Maker is what it is. And it's about time I did something about it. Be good enough to mind the chapel for me, would you, dear? I'm going to give that woman a piece of my mind.
What do you... Wait, you don't belong in here. Guards!
Very well.
Tell me.
Your wish? I am yours.
Did you hear that Town How was murdered?
I think that's a new record. Even for an Arl of Denerim. Didn't he only hold the title for 10 days?
This might be tricky.
If you wish to plan, do it quickly. They may be taking the Warden for execution as we speak.
State your business.
You're the officer on duty, aren't you?
I am.
Is it difficult? I can't imagine being responsible for the lives of an entire fortress full of people.
What do you mean?
Everyone depending on you all the time? It doesn't keep you up at night? You don't think to yourself, what if I slip up? What happens then?
No.
And not just in the fort. The whole city of Denerim relies on you. Thousands of people.
I hadn't really thought of it that way.
I just can't imagine.
You know, Maker, I think I'm going to be sick.
Sergeant? Where are you going?
This is so exciting.
Best prepare for battle.
Maker's breath! Here I am.
State your business.
We have come to perform last rites for a condemned prisoner.
What for? Mother Augustine is already here.
Let us pray, sister.
Maker, forgive these godless souls. They know not what they do. Spare them your wrath, and do not torment them with boils, festering rashes, and lesions.
Although they call into question your wish to show compassion to the wretched, do not deprive them of compassion when they are in need.
All right. Wait over there. I'll get the captain to let you in. Maker's breath.
Fate truly has a sense of humor. That tale should have fooled no one.
Everyone trusts priests. It's only natural.
If you believe that, you are a bigger fool than those guards.
All right, what's this about?
We have been sent to minister the chant for the prisoners here.
How many priests does it take to pray for a handful of wretched criminals? Fine. I'm not one to argue with the Chantry.
Lady of Perpetual Sacrifice, pray. Oh, I wasn't expecting... Did Boann send you? I already told her I'm old, not dead. I can handle the work here perfectly well.
I'm sorry.
I've served the Chantry longer than she has. And what do I get? Wouldn't you like to retire, Mother Augustine? Retire? I have not spent 30 years ministering to the condemned to spend my days gardening and tatting lace, I'll tell you that. Preposterous idea.
I had no idea we were being sent here to slight you. That's unconscionable.
It's an offense against the Maker, is what it is. and it's about time I did something about it. Be good enough to mind the chapel for me, would you, dear? I'm going to give that woman a piece of my mind.
What's the point of putting ballistae inside the fort?
This might be tricky.
If you wish to plan, do it quickly. They may be taking the Warden for execution as we speak.
State your business.
You're the officer on duty, aren't you?
I am.
Is it difficult? I can't imagine being responsible for the lives of an entire fortress full of people.
What do you mean?
Everyone depending on you all the time? It doesn't keep you up at night? You don't think to yourself, what if I slip up? What happens then?
No.
And not just in the fort. The whole city of Denerim relies on you. Thousands of people.
I hadn't really thought of it that way.
I just can't imagine.
You know, Maker, I think I'm going to be sick.
Best prepare for battle. No one will believe we belong here.
Intruders!
I am in danger! Do something! I see. Very well. As you wish. Oh, this should be good. I see. I shall be feeling that for several days to come. Very well. I see. shall do it. So be it.
Good to go! I tried to be merciful.
Hopefully you do not fight as poorly as you smell. I see. Begin the onslaught. I approve. Wipe them out! The battle is finished. Too easy. Very
Allow me.
well.
I could do that for you.
Here I am. Come quickly, Warden, though I doubt you are inclined to linger.
There you are. Follow me, the Arl is waiting for us.
Just be wary! To by the Maker!
Alright, battle it is then.
Oh,
Make a preserver.
There is no glory in bloodshed!
Your drooling saves some dignity, fool.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
We must not exhaust our supplies.
Cross the enemy.
Shall we go? Quickly, we must fight! I shall do it. We must not exhaust our supplies. Don't be a
Now we
fool!
can have
It shall be done. It shall be done.
Oh, this should be good.
Missed!
I approve.
As you say.
Tell me.
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind? I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority. All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult. Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed. And I learned that too late to help him. Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves. The Templars are well-trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
I hope all the accommodations are to your liking, Warden. Please let me know if anything is troubling you.
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical. It doesn't have better things to do. I like to think of them as accessories. I suspect that it is an art that was practiced when golems were more, commonplace. My former master collected whatever lore he could find on the subject. He searched far and wide to collect what crystals he could and then added them. It is not an unpleasant sensation. As I understand it, the crystals allow me to alter the flow of magic around me. Wilhelm had hoped to turn me into a battery of mana, something he could tap at will. I'm so glad it thinks so. Some of the crystals increase the presence of mana, some absorb or reflect spells. There are various kinds. All I can promise is that should it ever find one of these crystals, I can likely tell it the function and what it would do if added to me. Why not? I don't get to wear clothing and other adornments like the rest of you creatures after all. That answers its question, I assume? Unless it has more. Oh yes, that I remember quite well. My former master, the Mage Wilhelm, he brought me. As I recall, he had acquired some position with whatever lord ruled the land. I, being little more than a glorified possession at the time, was brought along. Oh, how he enjoyed impressing the villagers with me. Gollum snarl at that villager there, be fearsome. And of course, I would have to do it. That is where Wilhelm kept me. He wanted me out in the open where I could be frightening like a scarecrow. I was supposed to watch for thieves. Pah! Plus, his wife didn't want me indoors. She said there wasn't room for me. Hag. He did love using that control rod. Fondled it so much, his wife actually threatened to throw it in the lake. Ha! I would have liked to have seen that. Which reminds me, where did it find the rod? Did it pay a great deal for it? Hag. I'd have happily stomped them all into paste, and then ripped down their little houses and stomped on them, too. In fact, after 30 years of watching them, I'd do it twice. What I didn't like was being ordered to do it. Dangled in front of those frightened morons like some scary thing. Once I was a statue, it took those villagers years before they'd even approach me. The first one to actually work up the nerve to touch me urinated himself. Ugh. Good. I was just about done talking about it. It does like to have a good chat now and again, doesn't it?
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan? As you wish.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. what comes, my friend. So, full of questions, are you? Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not. I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden. I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat. Yet even now, I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it. Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Erlina to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me. I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Kaelin was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same. This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain. Are you thinking you might stand a chance at courtship? It would be unseemly for her to marry so soon after Kaelin's death. She wouldn't take that risk unless it helps her secure the throne.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm gonna stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen unless they both agreed to it. And I suspect that might take a lot of persuading to get past her pride and his humility. Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians, and it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers. We certainly have a great deal to plan. Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something on your mind? Of course. I didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you. I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken. We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only way he ever let himself down. Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths.
It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is. Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me. But they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way. It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, although none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas. Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne. That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot. He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it. I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement? Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness. Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities. if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Aemon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built. My feelings towards Alistair have nothing to do with it. I barely know him. I simply believe that I am what this country needs. I will fight for what I believe. Would Alistair do the same? What say you then? Your support for mine in the Landsmeet? Ignoring that the man looks so much like Cailan, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Cailan as well. But it is true that Alistair has Therin blood. To some, this is more important even than practical considerations. A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires? Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with. Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it. Really? Whatever will give you that idea? Well, it's nice that you think so. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen? Marry her? As in marriage, as in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? Did you take a blow to the head? That's crazy. I suppose. I don't know how much of a leader I am, but at least I know she's a good ruler. Go ahead, then. Tell her I'll do it if it comes to that. Now, excuse me while I go have a small heart attack somewhere. No big deal, right?
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the Landsmeet.
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes? He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Cailan's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... Is this it, then? I agree to marry Alistair, to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now. Done. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me? No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you. I have spoken with Alistair. Perhaps this mad betrothal won't be quite the curse it first seemed.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. My hearing must be going. I could swear you just said that Alistair and Honora agreed to marry. Of course, but I hardly imagined that you could convince her so readily. I am impressed. This alliance can only help us. Well done, my friend. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the Landsmeet.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something on your mind? Of course.
Indeed. Yes.
Indeed.
It is a pleasure to see you again. Have my flowers enticed you? Or perhaps you tire of the smells of the city and would buy my Orlesian oils? And smelling good is not? Ferelden is no longer full of barbarians. People judge with their noses as well as their ears and eyes. But you look more armed than most of my patrons. Perhaps you seek the armorsmith, Wade. Then to the south? He is quite the artiste, yes? Much of the city is still a mystery to me, but the markets is like my home. Circle and sorcered objects can be found in the wonders of Thedas, in the alleyway north. The armorer, Wade, and his emporium are just to the south. If you need work, outside the rectory to the southeast is a chanter's board. And if your thirst is strong, head to the Nord Noble Tavern north of here. Be prepared, though. They do put on many airs.
Be careful with that package, you lazy slut. It's worth more than you'll make in 10 years. Don't stare. Be careful with that package, you lazy slut. It's worth more than you'll make in 10 years.
It has begun.
You simply must let me make you that scale armor, friend. You must.
Welcome back. You looking for fine armor? Of course.
He's back! He's back! Have you reconsidered? I can make such fine armor with your scales. I'd stake my life on it, friend.
Where is your humility when we really need it?
It will take however long it takes. You don't rush a masterpiece, my good man.
Yes, that's right. It could take months, years even. You should just leave.
It won't take that long, Herren. Unless I did some inlays of... Oh, I know.
Yes, it wouldn't be complete without the, inlays. Of course, the customer would have to agree.
Cost. I should be paying you, friend, for the right, no, the privilege.
Pay him? No, Wade, no. We'll charge you.
I'll hear nothing of that, Herren. This is my shop, and working on Drake's scales won't cost a bloody Orlesian penny. Excellent. You won't regret it. Think of the possibilities, Herren. Think of it.
I'm trying to stop. You're here about your order?
I've barely even begun and you're pestering me.
Oh, get back to work. Come to see our fine goods before they sell out? Wade is working as quickly as he can. He really is. But he says you want it perfect. Certainly.
As there is but one world, one life.
And after much sweat, blood and toil, her labors ended, and the world marveled at what she wrought.
Oh God. All men are the work of our Maker.
Nice to see you again. Of course, enjoy your visit to the Chantry.
In the name of Andraste, Bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Did you need something else?
Of those fallen in the Maker's service, let me sing, Lady of Sorrows. Carry their names to the ear of the Most High.
Of course we did. Are you kin of his? He fell in service to the Maker against Maleficarum. There was never a better soul. Perhaps I am not the best person to speak to. There are priests inside better qualified to counsel you about your loss. May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
I know the chant like the back of my hand. Magic exists to serve man and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they.
Thanks for the help you've given. Unfortunately, I have more.
Have you heard the news about how?
Everyone in the city has. Brylan must be pleased.
That half-blood is as cold as the mountains. Did they not serve together in the war?
Oh, I can hardly speak ill of the sense or conscience of any man simply for wishing Randon Howe dead. You've met him. The man made vipers seem personable.
Well, I didn't say I was shedding any tears over his passing. He never was any friend of mine. Have you heard the news about how?
Whoever you are, Wait. I know you. Poor Oswin obviously didn't recognize you. He described you in great detail, but never mentioned you were a Cousland. I owe you his life. When I saw my poor boy's legs, I only wish Howe still lived that I might tear him apart myself. I would bring troops against his son. But Oswin tells me Thomas had no part in his father's depravity. Is there anything you would ask as a reward for saving Oswin? Thank you again. Know that I will stand behind you at the Landsmeet with all the support I can muster. In fact, I'm taking my supper today with Ban Reginalda of the White River Benorn. I'll speak with her about this at once. Everyone in the city has. Brylan must be pleased.
That half-blood is as cold as the mountains.
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. You're the youngest Cousland, aren't you? Probably looking for coin or men to take your Termere back then. You're better off asking the Darkspawn. They hold West Hills now. Well, I can see how you might miss it. All of southern Ferelden covered by black clouds, the ground rotting beneath your feet, plagues and darkspawn raids going on until even the crows get sick of the smell of carrion. What's a little trifle like that when compared to the important troubles here in Denerim? There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway.
Oh, I can hardly speak ill of the sense or conscience of any man simply for wishing Randon Howe dead. You've met him. Was that...
You'll have to excuse me. I'm engaged at present.
May I help you?
This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head. Loghain? What does my brother have to do with him? A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. You're Bryce Cousland's youngest, are you not? I thought I recognized you. Take this. It's been in my family for generations. Let it be a sign of the friendship between High Ever and Waking Sea. Let me know if you want some of my bowmen when you take back your Tairnir as well.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm engaged at present.
What can I get you, stranger? What can I get you, stranger? There are soldiers throughout the valley now, and Tyr and Loghain arrested 3 bands. But I hear there's common folk rioting throughout the kingdom. No one will accept the Tyrn as the regent now. Can you imagine that? A month ago he was a hero, and now I'm beginning to wonder if the rumors about him are true. Anything else you need? Of all the strange news, everyone is talking about some brother in Denerim claiming that the Urn of Sacred Ashes has been found. Actually found. I understand the Chantry is a bit skeptical and probably won't get a chance to deal with the brother's claim until after the war is ended. But it's incredible even so, don't you think? Anything else you need? There's been another battle. A bunch of Benorn at Loghain at Lacus Valley, and from the sound of it, the Benorn outnumbered them. Tyr and Loghain is a force to be reckoned with, though. Just ask the old legions. I hear the Benorn were routed. It's a convincing victory for the throne. I wonder if that will settle the issue now. Somehow I have my doubts. Anything else you need? There's wonderful news. Arl Eamon has been cured of his strange illness. And not only is he better, but he's also called the nobility to Denerim to settle the succession. Seems he's found some unknown son of Merrick's, of all things, and he says he should be the rightful king. I just hope they finally get to fighting the Darkspawn. Anything else you need? Arl Urien wasn't truly killed at Ostagar. His son, Lord Von, hired Antivan crows to kill his father before he ever reached the battlefield, only to first be killed by a mob of elves himself. Anything else you need? I'm hearing many tales of corpses clawing out of their graves, all over. Not just people either, animals too. Just yesterday, a farmer told me about the kitten his daughter had buried behind his barn. Little thing came back to life and crawled up, mewling as loud as you please. His daughter was delighted, at least until it just about chewed her finger off. Strange days, I tell you. Anything else you need? The Benorn are on the run now, and there's no way that they can force Tyrn Loghain to resign the throne. But how the Tyrn is going to raise a proper army now is anyone's guess. Anything else you need? With a defeat at Ostagar, it'll be inevitable that the Darkspawn hordes start moving north soon. They have no one standing in their way, do they? Anything else you need? Habron, daughter of the Arl of Southreach, has spent an exorbitant amount of her father's coin buying puppies. No one knows what happens to the puppies, and she buys a new one every week. Anything else you need? I don't know what to tell you. Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Was that your daughter I saw in the market, Branland?
That was interesting and draining. I called forth the spirit that sustains me so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little. Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
As you say. I shall do it.
I imagine you have already composed a suitable ballad to commemorate the events at Redcliffe, Leliana.
Why would I do such a thing?
You have taken up your instruments once again, have you not? So to speak. A bard takes events of great import and puts them to tale.
What happened at Redcliffe was horrible. So many people died, and they were violated by unimaginable evil forces.
That was not so difficult, was it? You may wish to add music, however.
You make it sound as if you enjoyed what happened there. I can barely stomach to think of it.
But we were successful in the end. Victory without cost has little worth.
I just think of what that poor little boy went through. No, I don't want to glorify what happened there.
Then who will learn from these events? I would think on it some more, were I you.
Andiran Atishan, Grey Warden. Join us at the fire if you like, but haven't you got a war to get to?
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Anaren the healer?
You know Anaren? He lives? No, it can't be him. Perhaps it is a common elven name.
No, I know of only one Anaren.
Ah, it makes sense. Anaren said that he was from the human cities. You are old friends, then?
If you seek Anaren, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you all so much.
Dareth Shirral.
We are building equipment and gathering as many of the Dalish together as we can, but it will be some time before we can join you.
We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield. I am no merchant, but I have plenty that you may need.
Quarter shall be given. It's begun. Our skill has won the day. I shall do it. As you say.
You are not welcome here. Doing the Templars' dirty work for them, eh? Templars or mages, it means nothing to us. There is dark power here, and you won't stand in our way.
Another call.
Watch out!
Another man going down.
We've done.
This has gone well.
As you say.
It's your time to die.
Come, let us end this. More the fools they. Very well.
Watch out! Another battle I see.
Come, let us end this. It shall be done. Most excellent!
Friends, turn back, please. These woods are a danger to those who do not know the paths.
Aneurin?
Wait, I remember your face. But younger, more impulsive, stern. Wynne?
I thought they had killed you.
They very nearly did. The Templars found me while I was searching for the Dalish. They ran me through and left me for dead.
I brought this on you. Oh, I was a dreadful mentor, harsh and impatient. I am sorry for the way I treated you.
I've put that behind me, and you should too. I didn't fit in with the Templars and your chantry. My path lay elsewhere.
Irving is a reasonable man. He will find some way for you to return. The Circle needs new blood. It needs to change.
I have fond memories of Irving. He was always kind to me. I will consider your proposal, and perhaps I will speak with Irving. However, I promise nothing. Now, it is getting late and you have much to do. You should be on your way.
No, we've spent enough time on my personal affairs. It is time for us to move on.
Look at this. It's the hardened sap of a tree native to this forest. It's been something of a lucky charm for me, and now I want you to have it.
Very well. I'm grateful. May your gods smile on you, Aneurin.
And on you. Welcome back. Is there something I can do for you? I did for some years. The tribe made me feel very welcome, as though I were a lost child. They taught me elven magics and told me the old stories. But I wasn't one of the Dalish, no more than I was a circle mage. I owe them much, and so I stay close by, but I do not count myself among their number. My home is out here in the forest with the trees and animals. I learned to listen to them, and they taught me well. Yes, she mentioned it. It is quite a miracle, isn't it? What happened to Wynne is certainly proof that the gods look favorably upon her. It is not my place to tamper with this. I cannot explain it. Perhaps the spirit felt she had a task to perform. One last apprentice to teach. She is spending her last days in your company, helping you in your quest. Perhaps this is what she feels she needs to do. I don't bear grudges. And it was Wynne who showed me that the circle wasn't really where I was supposed to be. She is a good person with a noble heart. She always tries to do what she thinks is best for others. She tried so hard with me, I could tell. Unfortunately, I wasn't listening, and all she knew to do back then was yell more. I forgave her many years ago. It's a shame she carried that guilt for so long. Of course. Let me see.
What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
Your desire?
I wish you well in your campaign against the Darkspawn. With luck, we will soon be able to join you.
men are the work of our Maker's hand. From the lowest
The Mages Collective thanks you. Makers smile upon you.
Did you hear? Andraste's ashes have been found. Here in Ferelden, too.
horse feathers.
Yes. What do you need?
I suppose a noble death fighting the blighted wretches is better than basking in this squalor. They'd better be paying well.
We're not going to be mobbed, right? That's not something elves do here. Mob people.
So far beneath you, we'll just take whatever you give us.
I think we...
Someone's coming.
Thanks for running those thugs off. I thought they were gonna kill me. I knew I shouldn't have cut through here. Bloody knife ears.
Spare a silver for a war veteran? Ostagar. Darkspawn took off half my foot. Oh, you're too kind, sir. Andraste's blessings to you.
It's you. Come in. I didn't thank you before, did I? I wish I could give you something. Everything I owned was lost to looters after the Purge. Not that I had anything valuable to begin with.
It's a plague, so they say. I've seen a few sick people since I've been back, but I don't know how bad it really is.
There are mages from Tevinter here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage.
Between the Civil War and Ostagar, the city doesn't have enough soldiers left to seal the alienage. And only elves and refugees have gotten sick. I'm sure that if anyone important gets the plague, the alienage will burn.
I guess the plague's been pretty bad. I've seen a few sick people myself, but by the time I got here, it seemed to be under control. There are mages from Tevinter here helping to treat it. But there's something odd going on, though. My cousin Shiani could tell you more. You can't miss her. Just look for the angriest woman in the alienage.
I don't know. You can only find out for certain if it doesn't work. And no one wants to put it to a serious test. I guess so. I'd expect Templars here otherwise.
I know you've already done a lot for me, but I have to ask. Could you talk to Shiani? Please. I don't know what's going on here, but I know she's in over her head. Really? I don't know what to say. Thank you. Maker bless you.
Very well.
Oh, it's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, my lord, can you spare some coin? I am insulted. A veteran campaigner, am I? And Oli is as bereft of parents as anyone's ever been.
My mom is especially dead.
No need to mention that, Oli. Will you help us? Ah, can't blame a fellow for asking, eh? Well, let's go, Oli.
That is the Tree of People, I believe. The Venadal. Allow me. I could do that for you.
Didn't the wedding teach you people anything?
I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Helped them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy? What's wrong, Shem? Did you get bored and decide to come watch the elves die of plague? Wait. Soris told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian? These foreigners have taken dozens of elves into that house over the last few weeks, and none of them have been seen again. One of them was our Haran, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back. They have to know about it. The Haran complained, and so did I. They just don't care, or something worse. He's the elder, the person who guides us. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's important to us. They won't just let you in. Well, there is another entrance in the alley. There's no crowd watching, no mages, and only one guard. You can try. Those guards mean business.
I ask you to stand back. Some of these people are carrying the plague. The alienage is not safe for visitors. If we did not know how to prevent the plague, we would not be here now.
And you would spend the legendary magic of the Imperium on lowly slum dwellers in Ferelden. 'Tis most remarkable.
It is hardly in our best interests to allow a plague to grow anywhere. The Imperium is hardly remote.
'Tis hardly close either. Across the sea, with whole nations between your borders and ours, and that is not enough to protect you?
For your own safety, we must ask you to leave now.
There's nothing wrong with me. It's only a cold. I won't go to the hospice. You can't make me.
Is someone there? Maker's blessing to you, child. Be not afraid. I still have some sight to see you by. I appreciate your candor. Most stare. Or worse, the awkward silence. I am a Templar. I lost my sight in a battle with a powerful Maleficar. He called flame from the air and burned my face. The scars have healed, but my sight will never recover. Don't be. Many of my brethren died in that battle. We'd heard rumors that there's an enclave of Maleficarum hidden in the alienage. I have found no evidence of Maleficarum in the alienage. However, there is something else. This place, it's scarred like me. When I came here, I immediately could feel an air of hopelessness, despair. But over time, I felt the wrongness runs far deeper than that. I don't know, but the feeling of wrongness never wanes. And so I attempt to puzzle it out. I don't suppose I could impose upon you. It took patience, but some elves opened up to me, and I've heard their sad tales. But I found no real evidence to support my fears. Ears alone have done all they can. I was hoping you could be my eyes. Look around the alienage for anything out of the ordinary. None. I thank you for humoring me on this. If I am wrong, I will rightly feel the fool. You seem capable. I have hope that you will find what I seek. Maker watch over you, child.
Who's there? Stay away!
Yes, my friend? Yes? I shall.
It is begun.
The house has eyes. But Grandma calls. What's a girl to do?
I can't find my daughter. I told her not to wander too far from the house.
Begone!
Very well.
Did you talk to Shiani? What's going on? He is. I didn't realize that. No wonder she's upset. It's a miracle the alienage hasn't burned to the ground if he's gone. She said that to me as well, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would they lock people inside that house unless they had a reason? Thank you. Maker protect you.
You're not one of the bad men, are you? I just want to make Grandma happy. Never met her, but she protected me. But I lost her amulet. Grandma, make the voices go away. No, sir. No, sir, indeed. Don't go into the orphanage. The bad men will take you too.
Who's there? Stay away! I can't say nothing. Please, just go. I don't want trouble. All right, I saw them take everyone. Took them right out of their beds. Dragged them down the hallways. Maker, the little one's crying. I saw him. They marched him through the hall with a bunch of others, all tied together like pack mules. Every few days, they come back. It's like a parade, a silent one. Men and women and children. You have to go. They'll be back soon. They'll find out I talked and they'll take me too. Please, just go.
It has begun.
All is well?
Stuck your nose in, you shit.
Attack!
No mercy!
A bit more dying, please.
Defend yourself!
Just die already! It's begun. No! Alright! It's the first thing we've done! shall be done.
Ask away.
Is there something else you wanted? Let me see that. What does this even mean? They can't be shipping people, can they? Shipping them where? No. People go in, but they don't come out. They aren't shipping anything out of there that we've seen. They could be moving through the back alleys. There are all sorts of buildings back there. They could be using one as some sort of warehouse, staging area. There are apartments off the alleys. I would go to the back of the hospice and maybe follow the alley from there. If you find any more information, please let me know. I refuse to accept that they're all simply gone.
I told you all I know. Please, go before they see you.
Very well. It is begun.
What's this? Another shipment already? We weren't... Wait. You're no Tevinter. Who are you supposed to be? Oh no! I've heard of you! Attack!
We must not exhaust our supplies. There is no glory in bloodshed! We must fight for the Stuart More the fool's day!
Begin the onslaught! I tried to be merciful!
the meaning of this. We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities. You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. You Fereldans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals? So I should feel kinship for these sheep? Don't be a fool. I am Tevinter first and a servant of the Minrathu Circle second. Those are the things that matter.
You can't just take people from their homes and sell them. It's despicable.
But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more. I am no fool. I can see that you are capable. So be it. I will let Caladrius deal with you while I fetch the Regent's men. I suggest you leave while you still can.
Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead. Tell me.
Shall be done. Tis begun. Very well. Away with you! Let's give them the advantage!
You forced our hand.
Quickly, we must fight!
Fear me.
It's begun.
All right, battle it is then. Mm-hmm.
I am Caladrius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about. What I want is for my business here to be concluded smoothly. If that requires that you and I come to some terms, then so be it. I've heard that you're trying to erode Logain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help. More of an arrangement, truth be told. One that disappears the moment angry armed intruders storm my abode. Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Logain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Guaren upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
'Tis a reasonable enough starting offer.
I feel dirty. We're not considering this, are we?
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes? It's legitimate. Whether or not it will actually help you, that I cannot say. Some people will not believe the truth even when it is right in front of them, yes? Interesting. Oh, no, that won't do. These elves are worth... Well, the entire trip isn't profitable without them, I'm afraid. Have you anything else to suggest? Now, that's not much of a deal, is it? Let's do this the hard way, then. Men, shall we?
More enemies ahead.
It's your time to die! Let's make it quick!
Best be wary!
Make a reserve!
Enough! Enough! It seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you.
An interesting offer, if a tad messy.
So, is my offer of interest to you, yes? Then, I don't suppose you would consider just letting me go? Ah. Well, that is a shame, isn't it? You think you're...
You don't look like a Tevinter. Not that it means much. Are you one of them? What happens to us now? Shiani? Did she send you here? Praise the Maker. We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone, let's go home.
Speak, then.
It shall be done.
I'm sorry if I was rude to you before. Andraste's ass, you'd think I'd learned some social graces. Anyway, what I mean by all this is... thank you.
What have you found? I'll report that at once. I've heard such afflictions can spread, even from a corpse. I suppose someone may not have known that. That's by the orphanage, right? A sad place. Did you find anything else? When the Elven riot was being suppressed, the orphanage was stormed. It was bad. Very bad. Have you found anything else?